Just waiting for everything to load. Hello, hello. Always sits here really quiet for a second and then everything just goes whoop. Yeah, so here we go. Hello, Kate. Oh wow, Jesus, that did jump. Okay, far out. Elisa, Kate, Priscilla, Shannon, Megan, Chloe, Lisa, Wendy. Hello, hello. Hi, Jess, Shannon. Beautiful. Please leave me a thumbs up or a heart if you're here. I will work my way down the list for the first couple and then I will catch up with the comments. Guys, just usual, no pregnancy, no legal, no health questions. I am here for as long as I can be tonight. We had a big power outage. I didn't get power back until 1 o'clock this morning last night. From this week forward, so Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays, you're going to see a live feed. It will be around the 8:30 mark for 2 of them. 1 of them will be through the day. Friday will definitely be the night time, Wednesday more than likely, and Monday probably through the day, but I will let you know the times in the morning. But that will be regular every week from here on, so yeah, looking forward to that. Yeah, I know it's a pain in the bum, just let me do it for 2 seconds. Guys, I think we're all kind of getting the picture now, but I do not send friend requests, I do not send message requests. Unfortunately, Facebook is choosing to say that profiles that imitate with a slight misspelling on the name are not fake. So I really kind of ask you just to ignore them, please. I will not scam you. Alright, let's go. Eliza Wilson, beautiful. Alright, so guys, if you want me to answer a question, then pop down your question. Otherwise, I will just pull you some cards for what it is that you need to know most. Please feel free to comment more than once, but don't smash the page. Got nice jumpy cards. Alright, let me focus. I want to say to you, when I say take a breath, I don't want to say like take a breath, but I want to say take a breath and just sort of sit back and see, because the message that I get as I'm shuffling your cards around you is that you're not taking everything that you actually can. It's almost like your self-sabotage is a really nice way to look at it when we don't want to. But you know, when we sort of sit back and we do this and we do this and we do this and we do this, but we knew if we just added this and this, we could push ourselves a little bit more. But it takes us out of our comfort zone. It takes us to somewhere unfamiliar. But you've got a really nice strong energy around you, but they just show me that it's just sitting just a little bit dormant at the moment. Yeah, so you've got the ideas there. Just listen to those ideas. They're not new. They're there for a reason. So when I pull your cards, you've got the Crossroads card, which talks about choices and decisions and direction, and it's like that, you know, picture the movie scene where you're standing there at this deserted crossroads and there's, you know, wheat fields all around you, and the way that you choose to go is really going to make that difference. That's there. And you know that if you kind of head straight, that, you know, you can head towards familiar territory, you know, you'll end up sort of where you're comfortable. Otherwise, if we can go down this road or we can go down this way, and it's a little bit unknown. And even if the journey in itself is still just like challenges along the way, those challenges are full of lessons and we're going to get things out of it. So it's, yeah, I really feel like it's time to make a big shift, okay? And so trust is your next card, okay? And that just talks about self-trust. Trusting in self. Self-belief and self-trust is where it all begins. And it's nice. You've got the Stand Strong card there, which is my card. When I made this deck, I always hear myself in my head doing that, you know, you got this. Energy that's there around it, and you can see it. It is full of energy. Your Jump card was the Strength card as well. Alright, so my message to you is that just kind of sit back and go, alright, I know the things that I want to change, I know the things that I want to shift, I know that maybe not everyone's impressed, and I know that it's probably going to shift me out of my current comfort zone, but it's time, you know, it's time, and you've got everything that you need to do it. And so take this as a nice validation and a little bit of a gentle kick up the butt, and go and enjoy yourself. There's definitely a nice rich financial security attached to it that's there, but there's also that sense of self, that sense of freedom. It's just a really nice energy, okay? So that is my reading for you. I hope that I have helped you, and let me move on. Alright. It's funny when your energy goes and you're talking, it's like almost like I'm trying to keep up with my voice. As I'm sure you have a giggle about here and there. Alright, let me jump to, there's just one more and then I'll catch up to the comments, guys. So if I have missed you, please feel free to comment more than once. Always appreciate a thumbs up or a heart. if you're here, please, always appreciate a share too, but you don't need to do any of those things to get me to read for you. Alright. You've got this energy around you that kind of feels a little bit despondent. And it's interesting because your cards are saying the same. I always want to say, like, I feel like it's time, talking from your perspective, so I don't want to say it is time to move on, but it's almost like you're feeling like it is time to move on, and I'm feeling like this is more to do with things like money, business, you know, those kind of relationships, or the things that are inhibiting you to actually be able to go full force with that. You're finding yourself going around in circles, okay? And have a look at it as a pattern over the last kind of 3 or 4 years. And don't get me wrong, because I know that you've had a lot of growth around you, but see the circle that you come back to in the self-doubt and in the hesitation that comes with that, and that feeling of like frustration and shittiness with yourself, really, I guess, that sits there and that you come back to. That feeling there, okay? That's what I kind of want you to sit and have a look at now, because it's like that sitting and coming around again, and there's the ability and the means to be able to make big decisions. Alright, and so when I pull your cards, you've got the clearing out the stables, which talks about out with the old and in with the new. And see, I don't know, I always pointed it out, but the shovel of shit, you know, and knowing that shit happens in life, and I'm saying shit a lot to you, so I do apologise, but shit happens. It's that old saying that's there, and it's about being able to look at situations and challenges and things that have come along the way and gone, alright, you know, I did my best, and this is the outcome, and so I'm going to take what I've learnt from that and keep moving forward, rather than looking at it and going, wow, this is a huge mountain of a thing that I'll never be able to climb over. Because once we get stuck in that, we find ourselves kind of coming back around, okay? So you've also got the self-denial card, which talks about self-sabotage, refusal, stubbornness, and all of those kind of things. And they're gentle words, because stubborn isn't about digging your heels and going, oh, I'm not doing the work. It's not like that. It's those things that we're stubborn with ourselves, and the things that we refuse for ourselves, the things that we deny for ourselves. And sometimes it's only when we sit and we look in our own peace and our own quiet and space that we can come to with those things. But yeah, it's kind of time to put them out onto the table and bring it around, okay? Now, if I keep pulling your cards, it just shows that you've got nice support around you, like you're not alone. But you need to watch. You've got not everyone in your circle being as supportive as what they could be. That's all I feel like I need to leave out, okay? And just, yeah, as I said, take any worries and doubts one step at a time. Taking some time to sit back in your own quiet space and actually go, okay, what is it that I know I need to do here? And even though I don't quite know how to do it, I know enough to start, okay? And the rest will fall into place. And so that is what I have for you. I hope that it helps. Thank you very much for joining me. Alright. Let me catch up with the comments for a second. See where we're at time. 9:16. 9:16. Nice. Okay. Chloe, where are you? I've seen your name a couple of times. Chloe. Feel a theme happening here. Let's see if it continues, shall we? I'll pull your cards and see. You know, it's nice actually, Chloe, when I focus on you, I see really bright colours, and I feel like I'm sitting there with like a canvas in front of me and paints, you know, and I'm using that expression to... So I do want to say that. Make sure that you've got an outlet happening around you at the moment. Even if it is throwing colour across a canvas, it's delightfully releasing. Anyway. Alright, Chloe, let me focus with you. So you've got the health card, the be positive card, you've got the balance card. That's what things are moving okay around you, okay? It might feel like things are a little bit jumpy at the moment, or they're not moving as quick as what you wanted to, or perhaps a couple of people are kind of mucked you around here or there. But I want to say to you though, that the path is on track. The path is on track. That's there. When I see the health card around you, it is that. It's almost like, yeah, okay, and the be positive card that sits there. We want to make sure that we're looking after ourselves. We want to make sure, pardon me, that, you know, as we're going through the little challenges and bits and pieces like that, we keep everything in perspective. So if we've had a bad morning, it stays as a bad morning. It doesn't make it a bad day. Does that make sense? I just want to see what's going on a little bit with you. Yeah, see, you've got the balance card, then you've got your goals are not impossible, but you're procrastinating a little bit around them. You need to keep yourself grounded and take 5. And then you've got the joy and nice new beginnings. It does. It feels like you're working on a path towards somewhere and you're starting to doubt whether or not it's the right path, or, you know, if there's going to be delays or if you can get over it and things like that. And I just want to go get everything sweet. You've got the detox card, and I want to say to you, make that yourself. You've got to change thoughts and to change, like, for example, if we always kind of talk negatively to ourselves, okay, when we catch ourselves in that thought, if we indulge it, it's a pattern that happens. But if we are mindful, and when we hear it, go, oh, stop, Liz, what are you doing? You know, there's no use bashing yourself. The whole world's out there ready to do that. And catch yourself with it. It becomes habit to catch yourself, and then it becomes habit to think a different way. But you've got to allow yourself time to do that, all right? And so that's where I feel like that detox is, and taking a chance, because so many times I hear, I can't do that, or it's too difficult to do that, or I tried that before, or everything else like that. But we're not taking into account the basic biological functions that we're dealing with, and we're not taking into account, you know, us. And so we feel like when things get too big, that it's us that's in the way, but it's not. It's the way that we're viewing us that's in the way. Okay, that was really profound. I'll go back and record that somewhere. Yeah, alright, so look, stay focused, and you've got the self-care card that's there as well. So you're standing in your truth, your honour and your awareness, just that. Alright, it is. It's like your reading just wants to go, hey, listen, everything's sweet, but you need to just, trust a little bit more. If I pull your cards for what it is you need to know most, I've come this far, so I'll finish it for you. You need to make the commitment to move forward. You need to seal the deal, make the commitment to move forward. You need to trust in yourself, and you need to make that decision to do so, okay? And then you've got your strength card that sits there as well, alright? And so that is what I have for you, Chloe. I hope that helps. You're strong. You're strong. Okay? Even have a look at the way that sometimes we do things. We do it from a point where we think that we're not as strong as what we think we are, and so even that in itself creates hindrances. Think about the systems and the way that we do things, okay? So that's what I want to leave with you. So I hope that helps. Alright, let me give the cards a bit of a shuffle, catch up with the cards. Hello, there's no T. I haven't got my glasses on, sorry. I was trying to see if there was an I between the K and the T. Shakti. Apologies if I'm not saying your name right, but I'm drawn to your energy, so I'm still going to read for you regardless, okay? I actually just wanted to catch you and say to you that when I sit with your question that's there, okay, I see a gentleman who's sitting around an average height. He's got a slim athletic body. He's got really dark hair. It's like black hair. It's shiny. And he's got clean features. He's almost got, like, I want to say baby features, but not in a... I don't know, is it a bad way to say it that way? I don't want to say it like in a, oh, he looks too young. It just, shut up Liz, you're trying to be too politically correct. He's got nice smooth features. He's got a baby face, okay? He's definitely got a business energy that's there around him. He does not labour in his work at all. He'll work with like numbers or something else like that, okay? There's numbers around him that's there. But I see that. But what the message is that's attached to it though is more coming back into with yourself, alright? We have our little checklist that we have for ourselves of, what's ideal and all of those kind of little bits and pieces. Make room for allowance within that list. And I don't want to say that you're too tight with it, but I feel like there's almost an anticipation that's there that's not allowing this free flow of energy that's there, okay? Because when we sit and we wait in anticipation and we have this expectation that's there, things become quite clear and specific to how we see them, and that's what we start expecting, and so we start to lose the room of that flexibility, okay? So just bring it back to yourself. The energy is there, but I feel like it's, when I say it's you in the way, I want to be so gentle when I say that, but I always speak just openly and honestly, because it's not about you being in the way, it's about the anticipation, as I said, everything else like that. Just sit back, relax, enjoy the journey a little bit more, and you're going to see that I can start moving away blocks, okay, and I can start moving away energy resistances and all of those kind of little bits and pieces that are there. It's and breathe a little bit. On the first day, I feel like this poor person's going to be like, you know, almost down to form on the first day, and I can laugh with it. It's a gentle energy that's there, but just, yeah, allow things to flow, allow the journey, enjoy the journey a little bit more, and as I said, have that as your expectation, joy and happiness, and you'll see that it'll actually start to move and shift forward with you, okay? So that is my advice for you. Alright, let me catch up with the comments. Hey Shayla, I've missed me too. It's been a little bit crazy. I'll grab you next. I meant to click on you there. Let me stop the comments because they're all moving. But Jacqueline, you're obviously meant to have a reading, so let me pull some cards for you. What changes are coming for me this year? That's like a whole hour's worth of reading that sits there with it. So I will pull some cards about what you need to know most, and I'll see what changes come up for you. But yes, impossible to answer that question in 5 minutes. You know what I do want to say though, it's the same thing that's there, okay? It's almost like I'd expect the Crossroads card to come out with you, because the message that I hear as I'm sitting and I'm reflecting on your question is just that. It's like, well, things can stay the same or they can change. It's going to come down to you. And that's a really like, well, duh kind of thing to say, but notice the energy, notice the pattern that's there behind it, because much like how we've been talking tonight, and you know, as I said, I knew the theme had sort of come out, but it's again, it's sometimes it's easier to go, oh, I'll it's myself, like even some of the things that I do myself are, you know, it's my birthday next week, I'll wait till the week after and then I'll start, because you know, it'll be easier, blah 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 blah, and we find ourselves making reasons and things like that to delay. And so really put some energy into where it is that you actually want to go and the things that you do actually want to bring in with you. Otherwise, as I said, I feel like you sit at the end of the year and it's like, alright, let's pull some cards and see. Okay, so you've got the Sunset card, which talks about tomorrow is a new day, and the Sunset card is nice. It's about looking back on the journey that has been, and you know, seeing the successes it's been, seeing the joys, the happiness, the laughter, all of those kind of bits and pieces, but knowing it's time to kind of move on. You know, it's like, I don't know, coming out when you drive a Porsche convertible or something, you know what I mean, and you cruise around, you get to the, you know, and then you have a family and no longer is that Porsche convertible there. So you look back and you go, oh, you know, it's been great, I've had a great time, but no longer suits my purposes, and so it's time for me to move on. Alright, and so it's about not looking at that from an objective point of view, but from a environmental and lifestyle point of view. So then as soon as you've got that card, you've got the change of luck, which talks about energies shifting for the better, and you've got your goals are not impossible. And that's where I say to you, I feel like the difference this year is going to be the energy that you put into it. And as obvious as that sounds, it's specific things that you know that you've been putting off. And these might be little things mixed in with big things, okay? But you are the change. And so sort of just make some choices around that, I guess, and that's what you'll see. Otherwise, as I said, I do see the year just sort of sitting quite steady, and the year after perhaps is when things come in that you're waiting for, because otherwise, yeah, as I said, you're the key. You're the key that turns the lock. So, alright, so I hope that helps. Alright. Let me grab Shayla, and then, beautiful. Nice, thank you, Kathy. I will pull you as well. Alright, yeah, there's another one there, and then I'll catch up with comments. Alright, so Shayla, let me bring you up. Alright, when will we move, please? Are you moving? Have you got a 4-bedroom house? I'm looking for a 4-bedroom house. I've been booted. My landlord worked out he can get an extra $300 a week. Alright, let me have a look. I feel like 2, 3, but I feel like you're kind of solidifying in the second and doing the physical in the third month. I feel like somewhere in the middle there's a letdown And it almost feels like it'd either be like a real estate that you're really familiar with, or like a private rental type energy that's there where it falters out and it gets let down. That's not the 2-3 month. It comes in beforehand, and then it's like an energy, say like a week and a half, 2 weeks later, that feels nice and solid. Okay, so don't stress if you get a bottom out that comes along the way. Just kind of go, yeah, all right, that's cool, and keep going with it. Let me just pull you some cards and see what you need to say. But yeah, that's the time frame around it. It's the energy I get. It feels like not a massive shift, but a shift, like a purposeful. Aren't all moves purposeful? I'm full of profound stuff tonight. You know what I'm saying? Like a suit and work, or you know, that kind of thing. Alright. Yeah, nice. So you've just got to stand strong. Yeah, you've got this. Bit of frustration in the middle, as I said to you. I felt that kind of sitting there. But then your alarm bells, you know it, you feel it, it is time, okay? So yeah, just keep doing what you're doing, like as far as market goes and everything else like that. We don't need to get into that. We're all well aware of what it's like, so taking all of that into consideration. But again, there's like this, even when I'm talking and saying that, I keep wanting to come back to like a familiar within the middle of it that's there. I don't want to say that it's not like that applies, but it's almost like that doesn't apply. Alright, but yeah, journey wise and specific to your question, 2 to 3 months, but as I said, I do feel a bottom out and then everything coming into play. Alright, get there. Copy. Sorry, my legs are cheap. Sorry, I just want to make sure the cards are quite a good. Alright, Kathy. You know, it's really interesting. I'm going to also honour the process that's in my head, okay? Because I owe that to my guides and I owe that to you guys. When I first picked up your card, not the support card that jumped out, but I just kind of picked up the card, so I put it back in because to me that wasn't a true jump card. But then as I pull your card, you got another jump card which talks about new beginnings. And in my head, I'm thinking about a different Kathy, and don't get me wrong, I'm not like focused on her, but there's an image of her and a shift and change in situation coming around, and oftentimes that's relevant. And as I put the new beginnings card down, I get this sarcastic message in my head going, see, it is work. Okay, so definitely, I'm going to pick up the cards then, definitely feeling, it's a nice positive shift that's there. It's like a relief that comes in. So I just want you to notice shifts that can come in around work with you, especially if you are looking. It'll be energy that you've put into place, okay, but it can also be energy that's been earned. So when I say that you've put it into place, it can also be recognition, okay. When I pull your cards, you've got the intuition card. So just on a general scope as well, I just sort of wanted to give you that because it was rattling through my head, and usually when I don't acknowledge that, it was meant to be. So when I pull your cards, you've got the intuition card. So just trusting your psychic senses. Now you've also got the external conflict card, which talks about conflict caused by external forces, so outside things. So very much, as I said, maybe work, but it definitely feels like it's attached to a person, and it doesn't feel like this person's like extremely close to you, but perhaps influential, you know. It's a female that's there as well, okay, and she's a would be like middle age and above. I don't feel like I'm looking at a 20s 30s person, okay. So just sort of keeping that in mind. This person's of no impact that's there, but it's more so like, you know, when someone's like being an ass and it's like, argh. So be mindful of the energy that you choose to kind of carry, because it's like whatever, see ya. This is all it kind of needs to be, alright? But I just feel like it's part of perhaps a bigger picture that's there, that's creating a bit more of a momentous energy. So you've got the self-care card that's there, standing in your truth, your honour and your awareness. Now I wanted to just see where your cards went, so I pulled a couple more for you. Now you've got the crossroads card, which has been popping out a lot tonight with that. So decisions, choices and directions. And so again, it's just about kind of standing there going, do I take the familiar or do I take a risk a calculated risk, and you have my go this way, and it's like it's time, okay? It not only because, you know, sometimes when we make a change in one area, it kind of makes us realise, oh, we're capable of doing that, and so it opens up all this energy on the other side as well, you know, and it just, yeah, it feels nice. My nose is really itchy when I talk to you. So energy shifting for the better, and it's time to kind of look at the long term, okay? The long term, beyond self and beyond moments. And when we do that, we've got the prosperity card that comes in, and you've actually got both completion cards that sit there next to each other. So you've got the dead end card, which talks about the fact that this thing that's there that you're aware of, this is the way, this is it, okay? It does not work, it's not going to work. Come to the end of the road, okay? And then you've got the completions card that's there. But as I've always said, and I'm sure you've probably heard me say, the completions card for me always takes them to the bush after a bushfire. So all the trees burnt out, it's all black, and then, you know, you drive past again 3 or 4 weeks later, and there's all these like bright green shoots, and because everything's still black and so clear, it's absolutely beautiful. And the bush needs that regeneration, not devastation, but regeneration that's there, and that's what this card represents. Taking the time that, you know, to have a look and see what's there and allowing that regeneration to come through. So that is what I have for you. I hope that helps. Thank you for joining me. Alright, so I want to grab just one more here, and I will catch up with the comments. I wanted to grab Selena. Look, I feel like the person around you is a nice person, okay? I feel like they're, like there's no ill intention as far as it goes, but I also feel that there's a little bit still of, I'll call it emotional turmoil, you know, and for me what that's representing is past experiences, past partners, past life experiences, and all those kind of things haven't quite yet evolved to a perspective where we don't walk ahead with trust issues and insecurities and those kind of little bits and pieces that's there. That's not necessarily a negative, but it also has to be seen to be managed, because you can't fix that for somebody else. They have to kind of fix that for themselves, and they have to be prepared also to put some trust out there on the line. And so those are the kind of things that I just feel like, is this a person ready for something bigger? You know, and so really just kind of take the time to see, even if the heart attaches and you can see that for everything else that's there. I don't want to call it emotional immaturity, because I don't feel like it's this, I don't have to grow up. It doesn't feel like that for me, but it just feels like it's kind of the way it is. You know, you're a wonderful person, but, you know, so just be cautious with it as you walk through. For me, that's where I'm sitting on now. So you've also got to take into account that this is obviously something new, you know, it's exciting, people are trying to be on their best behaviour, all of those kind of energies that, you know, we take into consideration and account as well. So I don't want to say to you, oh, absolutely not, but I do want to say to you, if it walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, and wobbles like a duck, I didn't say that right, and I've said it a million times. Anyway, my point is, it's a bloody duck, okay? And so make sure you see the duck and don't look for the swan if the swan is not there. Alright, you'll know this pretty quickly. You'll see it kind of like, I see his meetings, so I see like, you know, maybe 2-3 times, and so you'll just kind of notice, oh, that's a little bit insecure, or that's a little bit this, or that's a little bit that. Take the time to notice, okay, and pay attention to it. If it can't be resolved at that point in time, then you need to make a decision around that and realise that it is going to be an issue, alright? So take all of that into consideration. In the meantime, have fun, enjoy the journey, and yeah, take the lessons as they come. Alright. Let me catch up. Let me just pull you up. Maureen would love some guidance about an issue with a person who, her words, burning bridges, and expects an apology is enough. Doesn't realise the impacts her words have to us. After my hubby died, I can't even face her. Okay. So, Maureen, just give me a second, because I didn't actually read your question, but I was drawn to your energy. Yeah. You know, the thing around it is, and it's not necessarily the, oh yeah, that's the answer I wanted, but people are as they are, and so our expectations of them can be accordingly so, but if that's the way that they choose to be, if they can't see that, and they can't see the hurt, then it's up to you to kind of look after yourself and set those boundaries up in the relationship. There's reasons behind, like I know that you can even kind of sit back and have a look at this other person and see like even the bigger circle that's around them, and even, not the bigger circle, the tighter circle, sorry, and even if you're part of that tighter circle, I'm not making reference to yourself, talking about those that stand beside and behind her, okay? See how that operates. Again, I'm not making excuses, but I just feel like there's nothing that this person's going to change or do, and that they don't see it that's there. But it was, and it does hurt, absolutely. And you know, at times we do deserve that better respect. You can drag a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. And when somebody else isn't able to give us the respect that we deserve, we have to, in those moments, make triply sure that we're at least taking the time to take that respect for ourselves. And it does, it hurts us. Oh man, if I had a dollar. Anyway, but what my point was of saying that there is that it's something that comes up a lot, and it's something that I see a lot happen in families as well, in very close relationships and friendships. Death changes things, death changes people. Yeah, there's, as I said, so many tangents. I can just carry on with that's there, but essentially that's what it comes down to. I don't see a shift around this person. I don't see you getting a resolution that's there with it, with what you're expecting, okay? And so it's about nurturing and looking after yourself, and by doing that, setting up the boundaries and saying, well, that wasn't okay, and because of that I need to take a step back, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. So don't wait for a sorry that isn't going to come, because that isn't what you need to be able to move forward, okay? What you need is within yourself. And again, I know that's you know, I won't say not the best ideal answer, because for me it is, but I understand where it's like, okay, but it's just the way it is, and you will do better and be served better by setting those boundaries around yourself, and it'll feel good and it'll be strong, and that's exactly what I think you'll find that your partner wanted for you, okay? Alright, let me catch up with the comments. Alright. What time is it? 9:39. Oh, sweet. Okay, so just come up a little bit. Sorry, I'm talking to myself. Kelly. Love her reading, please. You know what, I'm just going to, I don't know, be a cheeky person because I can. I was looking at your profile picture, and to me I feel like it says 2021. I haven't got my glasses on, so maybe I'll say 2022, and I think the end bit's cut off a little bit that's there. But when I'm sitting there and I'm looking at it, I have like this sarcastic voice that lives in my head, and the sarcastic voice that goes, "You're living in the past, man." And it's funny because like I kind of kept it to myself, but then I'm like, yeah, okay. So in that though, just take it in that there, have a look and just see, like, it is a really nice energy around you of completion and time to move forward, and that's not like, I don't need to be dramatic with that. It just feels like I'm, you know, all my business is complete here, so I'm, you know, locking the door up at the end of the day and I'm shutting it and I'm continuing moving forward. It's a really nice sort of clean energy that's there. Sometimes it's a little bit sad, you know, it's metaphorically speaking, the end of the year and we shut the door for the holidays until we see him again, you know, but there's a lot of nice clean energy that's there moving forward. So make sure you are completing everything that's finished here, okay? Because if you don't, then you'll be like lying in bed at 2 o'clock in the morning, again sticking with that metaphor, going, shit, did I lock the door? Did I put the alarm on? And it will slow you down, you'll get a crap sleep. So just looking at it metaphorically, it's time to finish everything that you start, like, is complete from last year, and you know what those things are, okay? And that way you're not carrying that energy moving into, and you're not going to wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning wondering if you left something there, okay? Let me pull you some cards. So you got the external conflict. Oh, that card's coming out. Alright, so you got the external conflict card. Let's say again, conflict caused by outside forces or people, okay? I really feel the need just to keep that in context around you. Again, I don't feel like I need to go to anything big and dramatic. You've got a really nice energy that's there. Throughout the whole time I've been talking and focusing on you, I can hear you. Your tone, the way that you address, it's like respectful, but it's firm and it's aware that's there. So I want to say you're right for what it's worth, and I don't even want to say you're in an argument right now, but I want to say you're right, okay? So that external conflict that's there, again, sorry, that's old business, see ya. Trust, self-trust and self-belief is where it all begins. Nice clean energy that's there, and you've got the growth card that sits there as well, okay? It's almost like, just to use an example, let's say you've finished, and again, just as an example, so now you haven't, just finished this, I'll just say I've just finished year 12, and you're just like, that's behind me now, and I'm like, oh, full of possibility, I've done the hard work, now what do I get to reap from it? That's the energy that's attached to it that's there. So again, I want to kind of really compel you to take the energy with it that comes, okay? So you've got the Crossroads card, again, decisions, choices, direction, that card's coming out a lot tonight. Just thinking about the long term, okay, paying attention and letting go of what no longer serves that's there. And as I said, sometimes within that, it is a little bit like, it's kind of a little bit sad to let that go, but it's time, alright? It is time. If I keep pulling your cards forward, just keep your worries and doubts, do the clean out, and where are you, where it is you want to go. And your female card that's there, which talks about just, the strength and the changes that you want to see are going to be things that come from within. So even if you're like got someone sitting there saying to you, in 6 months' time, this will happen, in 6 months' time you need to follow up with them. It's the strength, the energy is going to come from within you. You will instigate the changes, okay? So I hope all of that helps. Alright, let me just jump over for one silly second to my books. My book, 33 Ways How to Self-Sabotage and Make Life Harder Than It Needs to Be. I'm full of sarcasm. My sarcastic voice in my head wrote that book. But it is there. I've got some hard copies available. So if you would like to purchase a copy, it's $15 delivered anywhere in Australia, or you can come and pick it up for $11. My tarot book, I will have them here next week. So for those of you who have been waiting to buy one, they were here $24.99, I believe that they are. And that book is perfect for those of you that are wanting to advance yourself with tarot or get used to the tarot intuitively without having to memorize that, oh my god, 1,000-word book. Okay, so for those of you that would like to purchase one, you will be able to do so through me. I haven't added postage to that, so what did I say, 25, so probably about $29, $30. Okay. Scam alert. I don't send you friend requests, I don't send you message requests. Sorry. I'll say it as many times as I need to, but January, enter the code January and get 25% off. Okay, so if you go through the booking system, and when it says enter code, just put in January and you'll receive 25% off of your booking, which is nice. I think that brings a half an hour reading down to $60 and a 15-minute reading down to $105. So that would be lovely. Knock yourselves out with that. And let's get back to it. New comments. Let me just catch up with comments. (2016). Yeah, it's funny. I think the Facebook page is like 2014 that I started, and it was just kind of sitting there, But I know, it's crazy, isn't it? And it's so nice, like especially the mediumship stuff, and it is. It absolutely is really nice. So thank you very much. It makes me smile when I think about it. My goal is my next big goal that's there, and it's going to happen. So I'm going to start saying it public because I'm always like, But I want to be on main stage at MBS. I want to stand there on main stage at MBS. And for those of you that see me do that the first time, there's a 99% chance I might cry or something. But that's like my dream. So that's cool. So thank you. Okay, so it's a live public reading there, Sarah, so I don't do health readings live, okay, but I will pull you some cards that's there and just go around the issue for you. Alright. I want to say to you, have a look and see who. I don't say that the advice that you're getting is wrong by any yards of the stick, okay? Especially when you're dealing with medical professions and everything else like that, okay? I want to be so explicitly clear with that. But I do want to say to you though as well that sometimes it's okay to balance that advice and guidance with something else. So say, just for example, we're seeing a GP or we're seeing a specialist, and you know, a lot of our gut health, our systems, our immune system, blood pressures, levels, those kind of little bits and pieces that they're kind of out of whack, and we've tried this, we've tried that, and they're not coming out and under control. Alright, and so sometimes we look at a bigger picture that's there, because you know, a specialist is fantastic, but a specialist is that, it's specialised to this particular thing, and so they might be dealing with that particular condition, but they're not necessarily that big up on you know, food or all those kind of little bits and pieces that are there. And I can always hear the groans in the background, but what we eat, how we eat, the water, you know, all of those kind of little bits and pieces can have a really massive effect. And so nutritionists, dietitians, naturopaths, you know, all of those kind of little bits and pieces there, just to get a bigger perspective. And it's not about sometimes curing, but the quality of life that we can get out of things as well. So I just want to give that to you on there, because I feel like you're kind of stuck in this, not stuck, okay, but down like this hallway, you know. So I'm looking down a hallway, and right at the end of it is my destination. So there's, you know, my doctor sitting there on the desk with his white coat on and everything else like that. And I can see it. So it's like a 100-metre hallway. But this hallway is full of doors, but the doors are all shut, you know. As you're walking up that hallway, take a drink bottle with you and take time to open each door. And educate yourself a little bit more along the way, okay? So just want to give that to you, alright? Just want to give that to you. Let me pull you some cards. It's hard when we're feeling lost to not feel defeated and to find the energy to care, you know, and absolutely no implication that you don't care, but just trying to emphasise that this, you know, I can't go knocking on another 100 doors. I've been knocking on what it feels like already 1,000 doors that's there, but different doors, different pathways, different avenues, okay? I want to say to you not to give up in that journey. Okay, so when I pull your cards, the jump card is the stable card, so clearing out the stables, out with the old and in with the new, and just for prosperity purposes I'll show you the poo as well. But it's about shoveling the shit out, okay? Knowing that your goals are not impossible, but it's time to stop procrastinating around them, and you're getting caught a little bit in your own thoughts. And so, you know, again, it's one of those things I hear people say a million times over, I can't. But meditation, you know, listening to water, doing dishes, colouring in, walking in a straight line while you're being mindful is meditation. Meditation isn't necessarily about sitting cross legs, hands out, you know, it doesn't have to be like that, but allowing yourself just a little bit of clear space. Sometimes for people that's even just putting music on in the background. Your mind focuses on the music, it starts to release that constant battle of thoughts, and you allow yourself some clarity. Okay, the biggest, what am I talking about? That was just made up. It is widely accepted, for whatever reason I'm trying to be pedantic around that, but what my point is I'm trying to get to, when we allow ourselves to have fun and a day of laughter and a day of just being silly and everything else like that, that's when we have those big creative bursts. That's when we like have those big aha moments, you know. Shit, I haven't got a pen on me, I need to write that down, you know. And do you notice that? How many times it's like shit, you know, shit, I'm saying shit all the time, you know, I've got to write that down and we don't have it on us, and it's because we're sitting in that moment of just being free, and all of a sudden our mind has the space to think, okay. There's got to be, don't, again, with all respect, medically wise, but don't allow others to dictate to you exactly what has to be done. You still have options and choices to the side of you, and I feel like when you start exploring them, you're actually going to start to see your freedom. Alright, so if I continue to pull your cards, what it is, just taking a moment that's there, shifting your energy, shifting your attitude a little bit, and with that comes that freedom. Alright, so I hope all of that helps, Sarah. I know that that's like a snippet of information attached to like a big task that's there, but start with just a basic, you know. Start with just a basic and allow yourself to go out from there. So maybe talking to a naturopath or, you know, something like that, but don't go willy-nilly, especially as far as like if you're on other medications and all those kind of little bits and pieces like that. You've got to be mindful, because even like herbs and stuff like that you can take, okay, which do have incredible potency properties, can affect the levels of medication that's there. So make sure you're doing it properly and taking all advice into that regard, okay? So I hope that helps. Alright. I've seen it a couple of times, guys, and so I just want to say that I kind of do need to skip those questions, not because I'm not drawn to you, but because the question's too big. What does, what am I going to do in 2022? What changes are coming in 2022? What do I need to expect in 2022? That's a private reading, okay? It's too much to answer in the space of time that I have. And so if you'd like to know something specific about 2022, by all means ask, but I can't cover a whole year's reading in 5 minutes. So I'd rather say that and let you know than have you always miss out. So I'll just let you know. Alright, what time are we at? 9:53. 9:47. Oh, beautiful. Karen. You know, Karen, as soon as I focus on you, I see green, I actually see peas, or like snow peas I feel like I'm looking at, so whatever else grows in those particular little vines, but yeah, I see those that are sitting there, and it feels nice. Enjoying time in the garden. Peas, snow peas. I always seem to only grow them in winter. They're a winter thing, aren't they? So what am I looking at? Now I want to know. Anyway, I won't get distracted. I love the veggie garden. Alright, no, Karen, let me focus. Karen, I want to say to you, it's even as I focus, your cards are flip over. That's there, and at the same time, what I've seen was you've been getting a lot of messages lately. You've been feeling it around you, sensing it around you, I dare say. Figuring out the word for it. But, oh, am I here? That was weird, I haven't seen it before. Hang on, Karen, I'm with you, but I've just got something different on the screen. Anyway, I'll keep talking. My little Wi-Fi thing just come up on the screen. So yeah, but as I sit there with you, I just feel like there's been a lot of messages that have been coming in and around you. See what I mean? Like stuff like, okay, did you see my screen go black? That's there, so pay attention to those. There's you're releasing. I don't want to say letting go, but I do want to say moving on, and it feels like there's a level of guilt in that for you, okay? And I want to say to you that these messages are all about not making sure that doesn't happen, and it's almost like that big hug from heaven saying, hey, listen, this is all cool, this is what's supposed to happen, you know, you're supposed to feel good here. And look, sure, not every single day, but you know, just allowing yourself that time and space that's there. You've got some ideas too, I feel like, within those messages coming, and it's things around your creativity, and it's things perhaps attached to an income and things like that as well. I don't necessarily want to go to a big one, but I just feel like it's like, you know, I enjoy doing all these creative little bits and pieces that are there, and they're good enough that I can attach just, you know, a little bit of pocket money to them, if not a little bit more than pocket money. So when I pull your cards, you've got the Crossroads card, which is obviously our popular card for tonight. Choices, decisions and direction, and with you in that's where I want to say, take the path that is free, take the path that doesn't carry guilt, doesn't carry anything other than everything that makes you feel good about yourself. Because I feel like, you know, in my mind, you know what I see, again, like I'm at the crossroads, I've got the wheat fields around me, you know, I'm out in the middle of nowhere, and literally just as I said that, the night time come, and there was only one road that was lit up. The rest of the roads were dark, you know, and that's what it is. That's what they want you to do, all right? And so just, yeah, take that as a little bit of food for thought. You've got the improvements card that sits there around self and situations, okay? So with that, I just feel like, yeah, that all of that energy it's about like just sitting and feeling good around with yourself. And when we feel good with ourselves, obviously that has a positive effect on our health and those kind of little bits and pieces like that as well. Now you've got the take a chance card. Nothing changes if nothing changes. And I feel like this is actually an opportunity that's coming in. And it might just be an opportunity to accompany someone somewhere. And I feel like they're doing something specific. So like, you know, they just got a chance to, I don't know. I keep seeing someone hang a picture on the wall. So I'll just use that as an example that's there. Not that I feel like that's what it is. But, you know, I've got a picture up in an art gallery this weekend. Do you want to come and see? You know, those kind of little bit of pieces that's there. Something that you normally wouldn't kind of entertain. But by doing so, you actually have a really good time, and it feels like it just links into nicely around you. So I want you to be open to invitations to explore. All right, and yeah, just, you know, to continue to pull your heads, let's say you're just caught in your own head a little bit, but just understand, you know, in life things happen, and you know that it is time. All right, you know it's time to acknowledge that beautiful, bright, shiny road that's there ahead of you, that's wanting you to walk along it. All right, Karen. So I hope that helps. Thank you very much for joining me this evening. All right, I need a drink. Hi, Luna. I say Luna. Apologies if it's incorrect. Yes, you may. Alright. You've got a nice idea around you. I want to say to you, it's almost feels like it's either like your own little business idea or something that's quite creative that's there, but it's something that brings in an addition to. So if it's not a financial thing that it's coming in, then it's sure it's attached to a lot of joy or happiness, and you know, that good feeling that's there, because to me it feels like it improves life. It feels like this is something new, okay? Something that's kind of brewing around you, and I want you to pay attention to it because it feels nice. It feels like it's not like, oh, here's my idea, boom, bang, there it is. It feels like this is something that's got to almost grow and come together over like 12 months, okay? With a lot of, you know, blood, sweat, tears, swearing and kicking chairs along the way, as it always is. Let me pull some cards for you. Okay, so you've got the female card, which talks about this has to come from within, okay? So for me, what this card represents is just that. So it's the things that we want to see come to fruition, ideas, for example, that we have, you know, places that we want to go, improvements we want to see, all of those kind of little bits and pieces. For those things that are on your checklist right now, they're going to come into play by the action that you take, okay? So to use just a giggly comment, for example, that's there, if your husband's been saying that he's going to pull those rocks out of the garden for you, you know, and he's been saying that for the last couple of months, it won't be until you go, hey, guess what, honey, it's a nice day outside and I've got the wheelbarrow ready for you, let's go, it'll actually happen, okay? And so, again, just a generic funny example that's there, but what my point is, it's the energy that you're putting into these actions to check off the list that's going to make all the difference, okay? Waiting for other people to make things happen isn't going to actually shift and make things move fast enough or strong enough. So, taking a moment, gratitude and rest are needed, and gratitude is always just that thing of being able to look up at the sky, you know, and see the blue, beautiful blue, and the trees against it, and all of those kind of little bits and pieces. I'm trying to give an example of the tree up against the sky, and my mind's wanting to go into the bush and look at the rainforest after it rained. I always got confused, but it's about being able to sit back and just look at the beauty, and, you know, fill yourself up with that sense of wow, you know. Like the photo I put on my Facebook page earlier, I just sort of stood there on that jetty today and just went, gee, where I live is absolutely beautiful, you know. And to stop doubting yourself as far as your ability to bring some growth in around yourself, okay? I feel like you kind of go forward a little bit and then you run back a little bit, and it's about, you know, perhaps a little bit of anxiety and shyness and, you know, who am I to step up to the plate? But you are you, and you've got that beautiful energy that's there, and you're what people want, and you're what people want to see. Okay, so again, when you hear yourself going, oh, well, maybe I can't do that, look yourself fair in the mirror, kick yourself up the butt and go, well, you know what, actually, I'm going to do it. Alright, it's nice. I don't feel like I need to give you any negative or warnings or anything else like that that's there. See yourself. Okay? Start seeing yourself a little bit more. You tend to be more comfortable disappearing into the background. That's not where you need to be. Alright, so see yourself a little bit more, even yourself, like see yourself a little bit more. Look in the mirror, acknowledge yourself, smile at yourself, see yourself, okay? And when you're standing there, be seen too. Alright, so I hope that helps. Alright, catch up to the comments. Nice. We had a big old storm last night. You know, it was funny standing in the kitchen. I was dishing dinner out, and it was just this spectacular bang, like, oh, it was just crack, and yeah, just house was went boom. Oh, love me a good old thunderstorm, eh? There's something magic about it. I love the wind. The wind's full of energy, full of electricity. Alright, Billy, let me focus. You know, it's random, and I'll just give it to you. That's there. The car that you own, or the car that you're always in, that's there. It feels like there's a monetary that needs to be spent on it. So if there's something that's either like clunking or making you go, oh, something's not right with it, pay attention to it. I always ask if it's due for a service, if it's due, we call it registration here, I'm not sure what you guys call it, you know, that thing that you pay to say that it's safe on the road and everything else like that. I feel like if it's not due those things that's there, there's a cost that's coming up associated with it. It could just be like tyres or something else, but if it is, it's like, no, that's done, pay attention to any, like, it doesn't feel right, it doesn't sound right, so that we can grab it now rather than it costing more later, okay? Okay, Billy, when I focus on your cards, okay, I want to say to you that there's a friendship that is around you. Now, it may be more than a friendship, but I feel like if it is more than a friendship, that there's been a friendship that's almost been stronger or longer, okay? When I pull your cards, you've got the frustration card that's there around you, okay? And, okay, I'm saying okay a lot. What I keep seeing is you in displacement with somebody. I keep seeing a female that's there around you, alright? And it just feels like there's been arguments and a cycle that's going in this relationship. We always just find ourselves ending up at the same point. Back again. It could be that this person is continuously letting them down and you're arguing with them in your own mind, you know, saying that they're going to be somewhere and they're not, saying they'll do something and they don't. It feels like this isn't someone you've known for 6 months. As I said, there's a lot of energy that's attached to it. And you've got the letting go card that sits there with it. So much like you may have heard me say earlier, you know, when people can't respect who we are as a person, that then we have to triply make sure that we're respecting ourselves as a person so that we don't get caught in that mess that's there. Stand strong. You do have this, okay? And sometimes it is hard to let things go that no longer serve us, but we know that they no longer serve us, okay? And so you're not going to you're not going to put a backpack on your back that's got a big hole in the bottom of it where everything falls out of because it's useless to you. And that's what this energy is that's there around it, okay? So just take that into consideration. But I do want to say to you, it feels clean. I'm not seeing like this big, oh my God, this is going to drag on for 2 months, rah, rah, rah. It feels clean. It feels like there's a nice relief that comes there after it. It may even be like a relationship attached to work, you know what I mean? So just keep me in context, that's there. But it definitely feels it attached to a female. I keep seeing you. I could almost say that you're standing in a unit, which makes me feel like I could be standing in an office. Just the space that I feel like that's there around me. White walls, which I know, but they're white. They're not like brilliant white. They're just white walls, and it's almost like they're either like they feel like they're concrete walls. You know, like that render stuff over them that's there, just to kind of try and narrow down where you're standing, and you need a doorway and it's got one of those things at the top, you know, like how that sort of stops it from slamming and swinging open really fast. Anyway, just want to give that to you. That's what I have for you, Billy, and I hope that helps. Alright. Three. Let me just slow the comments down. a lot of happiness with you, with family at the moment. It may just be that you've had some visits, or that you're planning some visits and things like that. But it just feels nice. Feels like you're enjoying time spent. And I guess when I see that and I look out towards who I'm looking at, I feel good for them as well, you know. So I do want to say to you, if there's, you know, like someone immediate around you that you've been kind of going, oh, I hope things ease up for them soon, just, yeah, you'll see that actually around them quite soon, because I can see you looking out going, oh, you know, it's nice. It feels good. Work, on the other hand, feels a little bit frustrating. I feel like there's some changes that, I almost want to say there's some changes that need to come into place. Let's have a look and see. When I sit with you around work, I feel like, as I said, I wanted to use the word need instead of are. And so that shows me that you're... The best thing I get is that you're being backed up into a corner. It's almost like there's... yeah, that's how I feel. And they're showing me that energy isn't going to shift, okay? So you need to actually decide what you're going to do with that. If it's once it's like, yeah, work's always like that, doesn't matter, then, you know, that's all cool and well. But if it's getting to a point where it's sitting with you, just know it's G's going to bust that out. Yeah. I'm just going to give you, just in the spirit of honesty and everything else like that, first I'm seeing you, like, as I said, using the analogy of you being backed up into a corner, and that's what I'm seeing in my mind. You're standing in a room, you're being backed up into a corner, and it's not just by one person, there's a group of people that's there in front of you. And then, as I say that, you know, as I was just talking to Sam, they're showing me, I'm going, no, and they're showing me a tube of toothpaste. You're being squeezed out. You're being squeezed out. Just be on your guard in that regard. But I feel safe. I feel, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not feeling like financial detriment and all of those kind of things that's there around it. So maybe you need to stick your heels in, or that you need to shift over a little bit, or go, hey, listen. But yeah, I just want to give it to you because they're giving it to me. So when I pull your cards, you've got the Stand Strong card that's there, which talks about you've got this, okay, you're all good. Taking a moment to gratitude and rest are needed. You've also got the Cycles card, and just knowing that beginnings and endings are a natural order, alright? And so, yeah, let me pull your cards and see. You've got the Sunset card that falls straight after on that, okay? And that is about going, you know what, there's been some good things here, but it's time for me to move on. Where do I move on to? You're not always going to know, and that's the thing. The answers are blowing in the wind. There's lessons within, and that's specifically what this card means, is that you're going to have to move forward and make choices and decisions at times without always having the information that you need. You'll have most of the information that you need, you know, but you might not have that guarantee attached to it. You might not have, you know, 10% of what you need to know, but you have to make that choice and trust what you do have to actually start moving forward. Now, you've got the Completions card that sits there as well, okay? You know, one door closes, another one opens. And so, as I said to you, just be mindful, I guess, not to keep yourself locked in anywhere you don't want to be right now. It's not needed. It doesn't matter. You can just go, yeah, sweet, no worries, and just, you know, pop out and boom, there's another situation that you can walk into. But with the right shift and the right changes that's there, I feel like over a couple of months you're going to be able to shift things out, okay? So I hope that helps. Thank you very much for joining me. Alright. So guys, I will do 3 more tonight. I am back tomorrow. I am back tomorrow evening, daytime, evening. It's evening. Evening. It's going to be evening. Sorry, rattling my schedule through my head. All right. Jess, let me focus on you. I want to say to you, Jess, use your voice a little bit more. Stand up a little bit more. Stand up a little bit more. There's a feeling around you right now that things aren't the way that you want to be, but it's almost like you're not game enough to say so, okay? And I'm not feeling like it's necessarily, you know, game-changing stuff like, oh my god, I'm absolutely miserable at home and stuff like that, but it just feels like there's a component that's there where it's like, I really want to be doing this, but I'm doing this, and I don't know how to either say or do to get to this point that's over here. And again, it's things to do with you, because I want to say to you, be seen, be seen. When I pull your cards, your first card out is a self-denial card, self-sabotage, refusal and stubbornness, and that's as I said, what I say, and it's a nice gentle energy that's there. You've got such a beautiful energy. You're such a sweet person that's there, that I know that this will be just, you know, keeping everyone else happy and everything else like that, and perhaps not necessarily going, actually, you know what, there's an energy that's sitting around you. There's an energy that's sitting around you to do with matters of family, and I want to say to you, don't put too much stress into it and don't take all the responsibility, okay? Now, you've also got the Stay Connected card that's there with you, and as I said, you need to stand up, you need to be seen, you need to use your voice a little bit more, even if that voice is to yourself in the mirror, okay? Be very mindful of despondency, self-doubt, all of those kind of little bits and pieces, and us entertaining that energy. You need to let go of the things that are binding you right now. There's a pretty decent energy that's sitting around you right now, Jess, and I just want to say, you know, again, don't be afraid to look in the mirror and ask yourself what it is that you really want to see happen and what it is that you need to do, and start bringing those shifts in around for you. You've got the Spirit card that sits there with it, to say, you know, you've got all that beautiful support, keeping yourself grounded. They know that the energy is frustrating. Yeah, making a commitment to move forward, be mindful where your intentions are, focus on the bigger picture, allow the healing to come in, moving forward to better things. What you need to know most. Yeah, so what you need to know most is a level of uncertainty around you and a little bit of external conflict that's there. That external conflict for me feels like well-intentioned family, okay? Don't be afraid to sort of tell them to back off a little bit. You've got the Sunset card that sits there with it. Again, you know, days pass and moving forward. Don't be afraid to let go of what is no longer serving, because just know in life, shit happens, alright? That sounds petty. Don't allow situations that potentially are just, you know, molehills, don't let them become mountains, alright? By overthinking and by giving them too much energy. Each time we do that, it's almost like we're grabbing a shovel full of rocks and we're adding to the pile, okay? So just, yeah, give yourself a little bit of a kick up the bum. So I hope all of that helps, Jess. Thank you very much for joining me tonight. Alright. So 2 more readings, guys. I am here tomorrow evening. What was I going to say? As you're checking out, if you haven't given me a thumbs up or a love heart, I would appreciate it. Let me catch up with the comments. Shelby. Have I read to you before, Shelby? You've got a nice energy around you, and especially attached to your movement around career, work, things that of that focus and intention for you. You've got, I want to say to you that I feel promotion around you. Now this may be something that's even within your own context of flurry, or you've got 2 things that's going on there, but it's nice when I focus in on you that's there. I've just seen the reward around you, okay? So there's a nice strong energy that's there. Home as well. I want to say, if you're planning on wanting to move or do some renovations around, you know, wanting that new lounge suite, that kind of thing that's there, that falls into place nicely as well, okay? It's like I'm kind of looking, oh, what's that? Planning around you this year. What was that? Something just went boom. Can you see that? Don't fall over in front of me. Alright, Shelby. You got the Crossroads card that said decisions, choices and directions. It feels really nice around with you. It feels like it's like, oh, you know, do I go sailing for the day or do I sort of sit on the beach? it's like you've put in a lot of hard work and a lot of effort to get to where you are now, and it's going to present you choices that are according to that. All right. Your goals are not impossible. So, you know, it's almost like once upon a time someone said you couldn't, you went, guess what, I'm going to show you I can. And all of that energy sits there with it. When I sit with your goals, you feel like you've got big goals, okay? And so, sometimes we might sit back and go, oh, wow, that's, you know, huge. Who am I to sort of sit and think with that? But it sits there nicely. Why is my brain scattering? It does. Pay attention to the ideas and the shifts and things like that around you. As I said, I just keep seeing you with this big smile on your face, and just with this I know in yourself there's just this beautiful energy of success that's there around you, okay? Now, I want to say to you as well, you know, when we think about either tall poppy syndrome or just needing to move on from certain people and things like that, as we grow, as we do our thing in life, sometimes people around us aren't necessarily on the same page anymore, you know, those kind of little bits and pieces that's there. And I feel like you're going to have to make some choices. It's not that you want to make choices like that, but it's choices that you have to make to sort of go, I need to step back a little bit from this friendship, or, you know, sorry, I can't have you doing this anymore. It's that kind of energy that's there, and it's just to keep everything in a line for you and yours on this side, okay? So you'll know that it's necessary, but it doesn't mean that it doesn't make it hard or hurt a little bit. You've got a nice change of luck that's there. Energies are shifting for the better, and that's what I say to you when I sit and first focused on you. They bring you up and they just hear the word promotion around, which is symbolic. I know that it can mean several things. A little bit of patience. Good things come to those that wait. And you've got the garden on there, okay? If we don't water our garden, everything will wilt and die. So keep doing what you're doing. And yeah, be open to embracing the changes. They're sitting there. Energy needs to come from within you, but we know that. Nice strong energy around you for love. Don't think that things are going to happen, because they are. Stay connected to yourself. What do you need to know most of yourself? Freedom, gratitude, beginnings and cycles are in natural order, and the completions that are there. And look, as I said, for that much nice positive growth that I feel around you, it makes sense that there's going to be some things close out. So I don't feel I need to get too deep and heavy with you on that one. That's there, but keep doing what you're doing. Pay attention, be the powerhouse that you know you are, even if sometimes we don't feel that way, okay? And take the opportunities as they come along. Let go of what no longer serves as you go through this journey that's there. And so I keep definitely feeling financial security around you, and I just keep seeing you with that big, bloody, beautiful smile on your face, okay? I feel like I'm partway through the year, if not like, say, 6 to 8 months into the year. And I don't want to say nothing's shifting or changing through that time that's there, but it's around that time there that I really feel like I'm sitting on the reap of the reward, okay? So I hope that helps. Alright, let me catch up to the comments and then just scroll wherever I end up. Beautiful, 10:19, yeah, wonderful. So guys, just before I do click out and do the last reading, I am here tomorrow evening, so you will catch me there. I am on Wednesday and I am live on Friday as well. Please do not accept any friend requests, message requests. Donkey's freaking message in your back going, oh, you know, message me for a reading. Do as you please, but yeah, you know, you get good luck to you. Don't answer, they're all just scammers. Anyway, yeah, if you want to book, use the code word January, okay? It'll get you 25% off of your reading as well. So I'm just going to, oh shit, no, ended the live. Trying to pick something random. Megan Una. Beautiful. Alright, so lucky last for the night, guys. And again, I will be back tomorrow evening, Wednesday and Friday. Use the code word January. Don't respond to messages. I don't send you friend requests. The name will always be spelt wrong some way. Alright. Megan. Yeah, that song's in my head and I'm just going to give it to you. As I was pulling your cards out, I can't sing, so I won't sing too much, but that, you know that song, Stuck in the Middle with You? Yeah, Stuck in the Middle with You. That's all I'll give you, because I can't sing, but yeah, that song came into my head as I was pulling the cards. Alright, so as I pull your cards, you've got the joy card that's there. Peace, happiness. I'm trying to say harmony and happiness at the same time. For me, this card is all about the balance of those things. That is why I chose the word joy, okay? Because it's like we're putting everything into place, and everything that we've done and all the hard work we've put in and everything else like that allows us to feel that sense of joy. So you've got the cycles card that sits there as well, beginnings and endings being a natural order. But, you know, I want to say to you that you'll kind of know that, and it'll be like a little bit like, oh, you know, but yeah, just sort of trust and honour that process, okay? It's I don't need to go any bigger than that, but letting go, releasing the binds. You know, it's nice. It's almost like you've kind of gone, oh wow, I can do that. I just need to get rid of that, I need to get rid of that, and I need to get rid of that. So if you're sitting definitely at a point where you're like, okay, these are the things I want to do for myself. So just to use a random example, you know, I want to lose weight this year. And for the last 5 years, you've kind of been trying to lose weight, and you always run into a brick wall because, you know, nothing's shifting. And then all of a sudden you've just realised that, I don't know, you're gluten intolerant, and so you give up gluten and you start feeling better, you've got more energy, and so you're sort of sitting back at that point there and being able to go, okay, now I've got these tools and I know a little bit more, and so now I'm feeling good, and so now I'm going to be able to shift and move on, okay? So again, just an example to give you context of what I'm talking about, but that's how it feels. You have the tools now and everything in your resource bucket to be able to accomplish things that perhaps before you couldn't, alright? And so enjoy that process and enjoy that journey. Crossroads card again. I think that one wins for the night for the amount of times it's come out. You know, making decisions and choices, that's there. But as I said, you've got the toolbox, okay? So, yeah, things that you couldn't do there, you can now. So make those choices. Your goals are not impossible. Look, not everyone's got your back. Be mindful of the wolf in sheep's clothing. But for me, that feels quite petty. It just feels like someone's saying to you that, I don't know, you look good in that dress when they really think you've got a fat ass or something. Feels petty like that, okay? So don't need to give it too much credit. You are secure in your choices and in your direction, okay? So it is time to confront those little fears that hold you back of, oh, but it didn't happen before, or, you know, all of that energy that's there, because you're all good now. And you've got the support card that's there, which just reminds you, you know, that you're not alone and people have got your back, and it's nice. When I made that card, that's what it is. People who have your back, not just go, oh yeah, call me if you need anything, and then never pick up their phone. It's people that have genuinely got your back, alright? So I hope all of that helps, Megan. Thank you very much for joining me this evening. Thank you everyone else for joining me this evening. Again, I'll be around tomorrow. If you want to book a reading, use the code word January. Don't reply to messages. I do not send friend requests. And if you would like to purchase a copy of my book, you can do so through me, and the tarot books will arrive next week, and I will be doing a giveaway with one of those as well. So thanks very much for joining me, guys. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow. If you can't be good at it, and that is all.